I need help. I've fallen into the trap that is anime MMORPGs, and I'm unable to get out. First Elsword, then Soul Worker, and now Eden Eternal. I blame this on the fact though that my wife loves anime and MMORPGs. This is what happens. I end up pouring 10 hours straight into a video game, damn it. Although I would like to point out that this version of Eden Eternal, yeah, it's not Aria Games' iteration of it. Never in a million years would I pour a large amount of hours into an Aria game. They've ruined everything they have gotten their hands on, including this. Instead, this is a private server alternative, Eden Eternal Vendetta. I've done a few videos on private servers in the past, and they're primarily anime MMOs or MMOs that have been shut down, and that is because anime MMOs are traditionally pay to win, something Eden Eternal was, admittedly, as well. However, the vast majority of items in Aria's cash shop that made the game pay to win are not really present in this version of the game. That is one of the reasons I decided it was worth pursuing. The game, much like every other anime MMO out there, has very limiting character customization, but quite a substantial variety of classes. The Warrior, Knight, Templar, Thief, Martial Artist, Blade Dancer, Magician, Illusionist, Warlock, Cleric, Bard, Shaman, Hunter, Engineer, and Ranger. Along with the surplus of classes, there are several different races that you can choose between. You got humans, you got mice, frogs, bears, and finally you get like smaller humans. So naturally I opted to begin the game reflecting how I look in real life. Generic. I wanted to get right into the game and see what it had to offer, so I jumped right in, mounted up my trusty dragon, and went off to get high on murder little mushroom guys. It was there that I first saw how flashy the combat looked. At the beginning of the game, no less. I'd actually chosen a mage class specifically because I knew it was probably going to have the most entertaining skill effects and playstyle. Plus, Wiggy went tank and my wife Avery went healer. What we needed, therefore, was a capable DPS. Which, admittedly, I was not. But hey, I looked fucking awesome while fighting with a bouquet of flowers, and I think that is what counts in the end, looking suave as fuck while killing things. Classes in Eden Eternal require players to level up their skills through the use of golden CP, allowing you to choose what to level, giving you more creative freedom over your character, something I believe is actually currently missing from MMOs these days. Not just skill points, but stat points too. Although, you know, I just went ahead and leveled everything I could, cause fuck it. Yeah, I'm a rebel. So upon hitting level 10, we all decided it was time to enter our very first dungeon. Since we went in with the holy trinity of tank, healer, DPS, I figured we could pull large groups of monsters without really having too much of an issue. And that seemingly worked out, for the first few dungeons anyway. The questing experience was refreshing. Instead of going out of your way to kill 10, 20 monsters, instead, you were mostly sent out to kill, like, 2, possibly 3 at times. And the side quests in the area normally had you kill the same monsters as the main story-related quests. This made completing quests and leveling much faster and much easier. It's always irritating when quests send you out to the opposite side of the map just for a small handful of XP. We learned the hard way that the game is like world boss or zone bosses that are, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, slightly more powerful than the monsters in the surrounding area. I say slightly, but what I really mean is, oh my god, he just two-shot Wiggy and he's running right for me! Thankfully, my wife Avery took care of her, resurrecting her while I took aggro, using my frail little body as a distraction. We also learned that the developers for Eden Eternal Vendetta actually added in items from other games like Aura Kingdom and Twin Saga. Mounts, pets, outfits, this is actually admittedly something I've never seen done before. Or at least outside of like a collaboration between games. My wife wanted to enter the dungeon in a new region we reached, however, it was multiple levels out of her range. There were no quests available nearby, so grinding was pretty much the only option. She was more than happy to take the time to, whereas I would have much preferred to go out and find alternate quests until, you know, we'd reach the required level. So, being the man in the relationship, and ultimately the one of us that wears the pants in this marriage, I turned to her and told her sternly, yes, dear. Cue the grinding music! Having finally reached the minimum required level to enter the new dungeon, we proceeded very cautiously. And by cautiously, I again mean within the very first minute I had died. But that is of course because of my tank. My tank neglected to pay attention to the environment, resulting in the bosses aggroing onto me and murdering me. Thanks, Wiggy. Right in front of both my little sister and my wife, neither of which lifted a single finger to help me, mind you. They sat there, they watched me die, and then they laughed at my corpse as I ran all the way back to the boss room. But that is okay. We entered on a much higher difficulty for better loot, and both of them had the pleasure of experiencing what I had. They were both murdered, and I loved every moment of it. Speaking of, dungeons actually have different difficulties. Drastically different difficulties meant for different sized groups. Although we managed to do each dungeon on the hardest difficulty due to some otherworldly communication skills, it will no doubt be much more difficult for players that lack our skill, I guess. Dungeons and furthermore boss fights inside those dungeons got significantly more difficult. We were no longer capable of merely running at the boss and spamming skills. The fights themselves required actual communication, lest this happen. We honestly didn't expect that out of an anime MMO, and admittedly, it caught us a little off guard. Sure, we died due to being careless with ads in the dungeons earlier, but the boss? Well, when he almost halves Wiggy's HP in a single shot and she's our tank, yeah, you need to step up your game. Or we needed to step up our game. Or Wiggy maybe needed to step up her game. I feel like I was doing okay. I'm sure you could see a recurring theme here. Regardless of how far we went, how much progress was made, Wiggy just wasn't really cut out for tanking. She's just really bad at it. She just died again, and again, and again. So we spent quite a few hours in-game and made it all the way to level 30. This was actually quite a bit further than we normally make it through games, but we were just having so much fun that we didn't really keep track of the time. Eden Eternal Vendetta is a hell of a fun anime MMORPG. It doesn't look as good as Aura Kingdom, sure, but as far as traditional MMORPGs go, Eden Eternal is definitely one of my favorite anime games in the genre. If you're interested in checking it out for yourself or potentially playing one of the only good anime MMORPGs left, then head on over to the link in the description or pinned comment below. We'll see you there. And that is it. That's all. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace. Thank you for watching my Eden Eternal video. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to my channel over here, checking out another video, or follow me on Twitter at ByteStix to just, chat or hang out.